Brazil did not lose to Morocco, but they did lose control of too many important moments. And in a World Cup group stage, that can be just as revealing as a defeat. The final score was 1-1, but the tactical message was much bigger than the result. The basic story is simple. Morocco scored first through Ismail Saibari in the 21st minute. Brazil equalized through Vinicius Jr. in the 32nd. But the deeper question is not who scored. The deeper question is why Brazil, with more possession and more expectation, could not turn the match into something safer. The numbers immediately challenge the idea of Brazilian control. Brazil had 54% possession. Morocco had 46%. That is an advantage, but not a dominant one. Brazil had 6 shots. Morocco had 7. Brazil had 5 shots on target. Morocco had 4. So when we look beyond the badge, this was a balanced contest. The first tactical theme was Morocco's transition threat. They did not simply drop into a low block and wait for Brazil to attack. They had moments where they pressed forward, won second balls, and attacked the spaces Brazil left behind. That made Brazil defend while running backward, which is one of the most uncomfortable situations for any team. Saibari's goal was the perfect example. Morocco moved quickly into the gap. Brazil were not set early enough, and the action became a direct problem for the back line. It was not just a goal. It was evidence that Morocco could hurt Brazil in the exact spaces Brazil wanted to ignore. The second theme was Brazil's midfield rhythm. Brazil had quality players, but quality does not automatically create control. In the first half, Morocco's pressure and movement disrupted Brazil's timing. Passes were not always clean. Support angles were not always ideal. And when Brazil tried to speed the game up, Morocco often made the next action difficult. This is why Vinicius Jr.'s equalizer matters tactically. It was brilliant, and it rescued Brazil from a dangerous situation. But it also revealed a weakness. Brazil's best solution came from individual superiority, not from a repeated collective pattern. That is powerful, but it is not always sustainable across a tournament. There is a difference between having match winners and having match control. Brazil clearly have match winners. Vinicius Jr. can change a game in one action. But control means the team repeatedly creates the conditions it wants. Against Morocco, Brazil created moments, but Morocco prevented the match from becoming predictable. The corner count is useful here. Brazil won 6 corners to Morocco's 2. That shows territory. It shows pressure. It shows Brazil spent time near Morocco's box. But corners alone do not mean clean chance creation. Morocco defended the penalty area with enough organization to keep Brazil from turning pressure into a winning goal. The discipline numbers also tell part of the story. Both sides committed 14 fouls, but Brazil received 2 yellow cards while Morocco received none. That does not decide the game by itself, but it suggests something about emotional control and reaction moments. Brazil were often responding to danger. Morocco were often managing it. After halftime, Brazil improved. They made substitutions, tried to reset the midfield, and pushed Morocco deeper for stretches. But this improvement did not fully change the nature of the match. Morocco still had enough structure to defend, enough confidence to play, and enough threat to make Brazil cautious until the end. Late in stoppage time, Morocco still created dangerous moments that forced saves. That is tactically important. A team that is only surviving usually clears the ball and waits. Morocco were still asking questions. They were still willing to attack space. they were still capable of turning one loose moment into a serious chance. For Brazil, the draw is manageable, but the pattern is concerning. A shaky start, uncomfortable midfield rhythm, reliance on one-star action, and possession that did not fully become control. None of these problems are fatal after one match, but in a tournament, repeated problems become a path. For Morocco, the draw is valuable because of the way it happened. They were not lucky passengers in a famous opponent's story. They shaped parts of the game. They scored first. They defended after conceding. They still threatened late. That is the profile of a team with tournament maturity. Group C now becomes more complicated. Brazil and Morocco both start with 1 point, and neither side has a perfect cushion. The next matches will not just be about collecting points. They will be about proving that this result was either a warning sign or a foundation. The tactical conclusion is simple. Morocco's structure made Brazil uncomfortable. Brazil's individual quality prevented defeat. That balance explains the 1-all score. It also explains why this match may matter later, because both teams revealed something important about themselves. Brazil showed they can survive a difficult night. Morocco showed they can create one. If these two teams go deep in the tournament, this draw may not look like a small group stage result. It may look like the first clue that Group C was never going to be simple.